since I'm very young, I didn't find my right place in the world, actually. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew that it was not my right place to fit like this in the society. And I was like, eyes was open, I was smiling, and I felt super energetic, like a newborn. And after this episode, I told myself, wow, you just healed yourself with this practice. I could help or support people. It was effortless, and they were sharing with me lots of nice feedbacks. And I was not asking for that. And I was like, oh, I'm doing this effortless. I'm enjoying it. I feel lots of joy when I'm doing it. So I should keep going and learn more and practice more on my own to be able maybe one day to support people through yoga.
So thank you, Paul, for coming into the studio and taking out time today and being here with us. And I wanted to ask you, you've been in Kanha now for how long?
Thank you so much for your warm welcoming. I'm here for a few months, and I came in last September. So now this is 4 months.
So it's you came last year in September. And before that, did you visit Kanha before September?
My first time was last February.
Oh, last
February. Year, almost a year ago.
Okay. Yeah. And how did that come about? How did you decide to come to Kanha last February?
Actually, since a few years now, I'm trying to be more focused on what is coming out from my heart. So I'm trying to follow this flow of nature, let's say. So I studied my yoga path a few years ago. And years after years of practice. So I was telling my ex-yoga teacher, I love your yoga classes, but now I feel you're speaking too much for me. And she was like, okay, that's interesting. You should meditate. And one friend one day called me, and then she told me, oh, you should try out these heartfulness practices. You will love it for sure. It was just around the corner next to my house at home in France. So one day I pushed the door for a group meditation, a satsang. And it was a year ago. And I was following the practice, and I decided to visit Kanha last year.
Oh, interesting. So it came about through yoga, actually, through your...
Yes.
You said the yoga instruction got too much speaking, too much instruction for you.
Yes.
What do you mean by that? That it was you were not feeling it inside, or what?
Actually, this is very interesting approach, because in Europe, for example, we are not used to sit on the floor, to share moments with friends or family, or to have dinner or lunch. This is more about high chair and stuff like this. So this is not very good for the hips and for the physical body. So my body was very paining.
Okay.
Lots of pain in my body. So I started to practice yoga with some music, and with my ex-yoga teacher, actually. We used to say lots of instructions about how to breathe, how to move, also with the music. So let's say at least 2 of my senses were focused on what I needed to do. So my mind was not here to speak to me. So my mind was like, not working anymore, let's say. So it was nice for me to approach this practice to start to heal myself through yoga asana most of the time. And more I was practicing, more and more my body was more opening. And then I needed more stillness in a posture. And at this time, so we were like talking about it, and I said that to her, and she said, okay, maybe this is the time to really start meditation.
Yes. And how did you first get into yoga? Where did you get interested in yoga? What was the motivation to do yoga?
Actually, very good question. If I need to think about the roots, maybe this is very long time ago, but the main episode was when I was traveling in Asia, and I felt very, very bad. Physically, emotionally, and mentally also. And I was walking toward my hostel to have some rest. And then I heard a kind of calling. It was almost the first time for me. So I was turning to the right side and I saw a sign. It was like yoga. And on the way back to the hostel, I was like, should I go there? Should I come back? Just to see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I dropped my bag. I went back there. And when I was there, just the yoga session was very close to start. I was like, okay, let's do this. So I did it. And at this moment, I was not able to sleep for a few days. So after maybe 2 or 3 nights of almost without sleeping,
wow,
I was doing yoga. I was really focus on my breath, and I was surrendering totally.
Wow.
Totally. And I was just, okay, now I'm on the mat. I know anyone. Also, I was struggling a lot with English. So I was like, okay, I'm dropping my mind and let's go, let's try. And after 1 hour, I came out of my mat and I was like, eyes was open. I was smiling and I felt super energetic, like a newborn. And after this episode, I told myself, wow, you just healed yourself with this practice. It was also with the ambience, the teacher there.
Yeah.
But also because I was following it with the right attitude. And I was like, oh, this is the start of something maybe.
And
so
just
I needed
one session did this, huh?
Yeah, just one session. I was like, oh, my body, physical body really needed it. And it was the start.
Wow. And how long back was this? How long back?
I will say, I'm very bad at it.
Approximately, you don't have to be exact.
8, 9 years ago.
Oh, 8, 9 years ago.
Yeah,
that long ago. Wow. Wow.
And also like 5 years ago, when I was sitting in cross-leg posture, my knees were like 50, 60 centimeters above the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very, very stiff. Very stiff. And now with this practice, I'm more open physically.
So that is a way to measure your flexibility, you know, when you're sitting cross-legged.
Yeah.
How far your knees are above the floor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mine will be way above the floor, I think.
But through this, I mean, I was like, at the beginning, when all my yoga teacher, and not lots of them, they were advising me to meditate. It was not that often. I could hear this. So I felt lots of pain. So I couldn't remain eyes closed for a minute because I was like, oh, this is so painful. It was not about the mind, but more about the physical part. So.
Wow. Interesting. And where was this yoga session that you first got introduced to? Which part of the world?
I love to travel a lot. So the first one, I can't remember.
Wow.
But it was in Europe.
Okay.
Somewhere abroad. And actually, I was trying that out almost abroad every time. Not at home.
Not at home.
Yeah. Right. And then it was not random, but I met someone and I got introduced in this yoga studio in Montpellier in France. And then I studied yoga there and to practice with this yoga teacher and very close yoga teacher team.
So this first class that you mentioned that you turned around and you looked at that signboard, that was somewhere in Europe, huh?
It was in Thailand.
Oh, in Thailand.
Yeah,
okay,
in
the
Asia.
First one was in Thailand. And then you followed up with...
but I had previous some yoga sessions before.
Basic yoga sessions. So interesting. So growing up, was yoga a big part of... Were you aware of yoga while growing up? And where were you growing up? Tell us a little bit about that.
Actually, yoga, we were not talking about yoga. And this is the very nice thing that I'm discovering when I'm traveling in India or I'm staying in India. This is the way you approach spirituality. And it's about the experience you're having through this journey. And in France, for example, I think, most of the people were not aware to listen to our emotions. So we are not talking about it. And we have lots of taboo. So this is very difficult to approach this emotional and mental part in Europe. So we are not talking about it. We are not talking about yoga. So it was just like I was following this flow of nature until the moment I was very stiff and my physical body was like, no, this is right now. or you will pay the consequences.
Wow. So your physical body, of course, had this search for something, some solution to physical problems. What about spiritually? Was spirituality a part of your growing up? Did you have a spiritual bent in childhood? Do you remember?
Actually, and I was asking the question to my mother a few months ago, and I have some memory. I got very lovely childhood. I was very, very lucky to grow up in this family, very lovely family. So thank you so much. And I was asking my mother about, what do you remember from me when I was a kid? Because I have my own thoughts, but I wanted her feedback. And she said, oh, you didn't like the injustice.
Oh, okay.
So I was not doing kind of the policeman to show off, but more to say, no, things are not right like this. We should do more like this. So she was sharing that to me. Otherwise, no, we're not growing up into spirituality. I got a lovely childhood. And then with the time, that came to me. That's it.
So when was your first visit to India, Paul? When did you first come to India?
Actually, February last year.
Oh, that was your first visit?
It was like I came directly in Hyderabad, and I came directly to visit Kanha.
Wow.
It was the first time.
Wow.
And I stayed for 2 weeks for yoga training, and then I flew back home. It was very, very short. And after this, I was like, okay, now we'll act back home to make sure all the things I'm running into the daily life that could be managed to some people that I trust. So now things are going well at home, and I can invest time on myself to study more yoga, to teach yoga, and to get imbibe about the spirituality here.
Wow. So yoga, it must have been a gradual thing, how you get more and more involved in yoga, right? And was there a point where you consciously made the decision that I'm going to be a yoga teacher, or did it just happen naturally? Or was there one point, one time where you said, no, this is what I want to do?
Since I'm very young, I didn't find my right place in the world, actually. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew that it was not my right place to fit like this in the society. And thanks to my mother, she was helping me she was leading me towards a 2-year degree after college and so on. So I was doing that, and then I get more involved into management, and I had my master degree. And then I was helping small or big company to build website and mobile application.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the IT. And then through this journey, so I get more and more experience. And I started with a small company. It was very nice because I had some space to also help the team. Like the team were producing literally the website or mobile application to maybe get more management skills and so on. So the technical team, they were also involving in terms of management skills, soft skills. So I could do that. And when I changed the company, then it was just, we are watching financial indicators. So it was not about human being at all. So I was like, I see this is not for me anymore. And in the same time, in parallel, I was going into yoga, and I was like, oh, I'm doing that effortless. For myself, it was not effortless, but if I could help or support people, it was effortless. And they were sharing with me lots of nice feedbacks. And I was not asking for that. And I was like, oh, I'm doing this effortless. I'm enjoying it. I feel lots of joy when I'm doing it. So I should keep going and learn more and practice more on my own to be able maybe one day to support people through yoga.
But was it scary to give up a regular job? Because we all go through this thing of, this is the expectation that you get a job and you get a house, you retire, you have a working life, Was it easy to make that jump to, okay, because there's so much uncertainty, right? in you don't know what's going to happen. How was it taking that decision?
How can I start? I'm still struggling with this because I did some investment when I got a salary. When I was an employee.
Yeah, sure.
But now I can't invest that much. But I did that when I had this, let's say, current situation. So it was good. I did it. And now I have not that much money inside, but I'm really enjoying the process. So still sometimes this
uncertainty.
This is not easy.
And this fear comes sometimes,
Yeah. But when I'm like doing yoga and when I can support people through yoga and I have this feedback of the universe, let's say, I feel like, wow, when I'm just going back to the heart and I'm just listening to it, I feel very grateful for what I'm doing right now.
Wow. And so you mentioned how your yoga journey very naturally kind of took you to heartfulness, where you, close to your home, you had a heartfulness trainer. So how was that experience trying out heartfulness for the first time? What was that like?
Actually, I met someone just a couple of times, and this person just called me to share with me, okay, there is a Heartfulness center next to your place, you should go. So I was going there on my own, not even with her, just for one group meditation on one Sunday morning. So I came as almost on the time with the Indian time, sharp on time. So they were all looking at me like this because I didn't have the time to introduce myself.
Sure.
So they didn't know me. I was just sitting, doing meditation. And then they started to talk a little bit. And I wanted to stay in. So I left almost immediately. And maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, I came back for the second time. I did almost the same. And then the third,
come and you go.
Yeah. And the third time, because I really wanted to stay in with this condition. I don't know what it was at the beginning, but I was acting like this. And the third time, I had a nice talk with Guy. And Guy was like sharing with me what it is about, what is the heartfulness practices.
This is Guy Joris.
No, Guy Lemitre.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were talking together. And I remember this moment. It was very lovely moment. It was like, you need to receive some introductive sittings. And then we will talk about the practice deeper and you will feel some changes. And then you will have to experiment on your own then. So someone needs to follow that up with you. And I was like, oh, my heart is telling me this is you. And he was like, okay, let's do this. He was like, when? And I was like, right now. So we start like this.
Wow.
After the second or third time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was that like? What was getting those introductory sittings like? Did you feel anything? Was there?
It was quite magical for me. Yeah.
Immediately in the introductory sittings, you felt stuff?
At the first one, after a few minutes, I felt like a very extraordinary experience that I was sitting in cross-leg on the floor. And I felt like some kind of flames above all my being. I felt kind of like elevation a little bit. So I was like above the floor, like 20, 30 centimeters.
Oh, wow. Did you open your eyes to check?
I was like, okay. And actually, when I was young, I was doing some party. And during one of those experiences, I had this first feeling once already.
In a party?
In a party. It was not really in a party, but it was private, but I had this feeling.
Yeah.
These sensations. So I was like, oh my God, I already know what it is. I felt it once already. And so after just few minutes of this meditation, I was like, I just need to close my eyes. And the path of yoga is to master the energy you have in. This is not even our own energy. This is the energy. And yoga is, okay, how we master this energy. And I was like, interesting. If meditations come at the end, that will also help me to regulate my mind and come closer my mind and my heart and vice versa. After this experience, I don't need anything more. I just need to close my eyes. So for me, it was the sign that, okay, now I need to be consistent. I need to follow that consistency to practice. And through the experience, I will see. And that literally changed my life. Just after 2 years.
Wow.
Very impressive for me, for the way I'm thinking, the way I'm acting with others. And also, I also see that already with my family. I saw that with my family. So they can see me more joyful and they are acting different with me. So, wow.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Very grateful.
Family can be sometimes, they don't know what you're doing. They don't know if it's the right path, but it's only the way you are conducting yourself tells them what is, if it's right or is it wrong. So did any of your family express a desire to maybe try yoga or heartfulness?
I would like also to come back to one precedent question.
Yes.
And you will see the link.
Yes.
You are talking about how your family is approaching spirituality or introduce spirituality to you. So it was not like this at all. And actually, when I started my yoga path, my first yoga training was in France. And I remember one member of my family, I could say that this is my father. He told me, "Are you going to be in a sect?" You know what it is?
Yes.
So I was like, okay, so now that this is not about it, so this is just to work on myself. This is a kind of therapy, let's say. I will experiencing within. So I was like, don't worry, I have a master's degree. You educated me very well. It was a lovely childhood. So nothing will be wrong. No problem.
It came out of a place of concern from his side, I suppose.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I studied like this. And it was like septic a little bit also, I think, with meditation. But the rest of my family, they were not talking that much about it. Mm-hmm. But him was very honest, at least. So it was very nice. And when I came back to India last September, actually I was like, I'm doing a volunteer job here, but I'm not earning money. So I was like, why not? To start yoga online. So I started to update my website, to propose some yoga online, and also with the group of students who were following me when I was home. So some of them, they are connecting online to follow some classes. And last September, my father called me, was like, "Oh, you're starting your online classes. Can I join?"
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That must have been wonderful.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and I have goosebumps. It was very surprising. And
that's so beautiful.
So touched, yeah.
That's
and now, since September, I'm giving them, for the French people, like, based on donation, 2 classes a week. And he's like, in every classes.
Incredible.
And when I miss a class, because I don't know, I'm traveling or something is happening here, I can't afford to give the class. He's like, "Paul, I missed the class. So come on, next week you're giving the 2 classes, please."
Lovely.
Yeah.
That is so nice.
Yeah.
That is so nice.
So now they start approaching yoga.
How beautiful. And what about your friends and your peers? What was their reaction when you started yoga? Because you were in a standard career where you're making money in a job and an office and everything, and then you are giving up everything to pursue yoga. What about your friends and peers? How did they react?
It was very difficult. It was very difficult because they were not that reacting. But I knew inside me, even if I was loving them, I'm still loving them. I needed to, let's say, cut in a way the link between us to move on maybe quicker on my spiritual journey on this path. Because I was that, let's say, close to them. For example, I get my first salary, I was spending all my salary, almost every time. So I was not putting money on side, but I was quite enjoying my life. But I couldn't stay with them because it was too much temptation to go on holidays on this island, to do this, to do this. It was very beautiful. I was very lucky. But inside, something was missing, and I was losing my heart connection. So I started to take more distance, to be transparent with them. And actually, some of them, they are not understanding it, and this is okay. But most of them, they could understand, like, okay, I want to follow my path. They like it. Okay, I'm transparent with them. And they could see me more joyful. So we are not talking every day together, but when we catch the phone to give some news to each other, every time this is well.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. And you also mentioned that you like traveling. You travel a lot. And when did that start? When did your love for travel start? And what motivates that?
My father was at the initiative of it.
Okay.
I remember my father working very hard. And to make it simple, my grandfather was working in a farm.
Okay.
To make it simple. And my father was the first one who got his 2 years degree. So it was quite something new for the family. So as I'm the elder of the grandson.
Okay, you're the eldest amongst your generation. Yeah.
Yes. So my father was like telling me since I'm young, Paul, at some point you have to study English because I can't speak proper English. So this is missing for me. And you will see with this world, you will have to speak English. And until 21, I couldn't speak English. So I'm just 31 now.
So in 10 years, you've learned so much.
So he put this seed inside my head. And at the age of 21, between 20 and 21, I met very good friend, Gregory, and he went to Australia. And he told me, how is it easy to get a job there, even if you're not speaking good English? So I was like, okay, I will go to Australia. I took a gap year, and my main objective was to speak English. And then I started to travel like this. So it was quite fantastic journey.
Amazing. So where all did you travel? Where did your travels take you?
I studied in Australia, so I get few jobs. Then I was traveling all around Australia, almost, not the West Coast, but in the desert, all the East Coast from north to down. And then when I was back to Sydney, I remember I was asking my Belgium friend they were Flamand, so we were speaking in English together, to stay with them for a few days. And they were with like 10 Chilean in a big house next to a very beautiful area. But I was sleeping on the couch for a few days. So I was earning money for those few days. And then the last day, we were deciding to spontaneously to get a ticket and to go to New Zealand. So we went to New Zealand. Wow. We bought a car and we did wild camping for 1 month and a half, 2 months maybe, almost on the South Island. It was splendid. And then lots of countries in Europe. I've been a little bit before COVID in Brazil and also Morocco for yoga retreat. So I was very lucky.
Wow.
I was very lucky.
So all over the world you've been, huh? Very interesting. And what difference did you find in your yoga, if any, after you started Heartfulness? Did your yoga also change in any way? Did your understanding of yoga change after starting the Heartfulness practice?
Definitely. And my yoga practice is also changes with the students they are following me. For example, I learned how to teach yoga from the heart already. I mean, I know you need to follow some sequences in yoga to make sure, okay, you can work well with all your class for 1 hour at least. But inside those sequences, you have to be spontaneous, to feel from within what you should teach, how you could feel the class, if you need to teach one with your voice, to adjust one physically. And then I was giving them some yoga and some approach, very spontaneously. So I studied like this. But then it was very dynamic yoga. And more I was practicing, more and more the practice became subtle. And when I came This is last big example I have in mind. Last September, I was doing a yoga class with Amar brother in the wellness center. And definitely it was very, I think, simple asana, very classic one, not that difficult, but I was closing my eyes into the asana and I could feel with this subtle breath that was almost meditating in the asana. So how I can experiment the evolution of my consciousness through this asana, it was very wonderful.
Wow.
Very wonderful.
Wow. That's interesting. And how about the Heartfulness Yoga Academy? You've been training here. I think last February you said was the first time you trained, and then you did another course. How was that experience? The trainers here and learning yoga at Kanha Shanti Vanam?
Very great, actually. So the infrastructure are very well. Everyone is very welcoming. And now I'm ending an advanced yoga program here in Kanha Shanti Vanam. And this is beautiful. And I'm discovering more I'm subtle in the practice and more this is beneficial. More I can get the benefits from the practice. So yeah, I feel very good here. I feel like at home. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing a volunteer job. If I can help, I'm helping. And I also need some help sometimes. And they are always here to help me out. So I'm very grateful for this.
And what do you think of this campus of Kanha Shanti Vanam? What is your experience of living here?
When I came for the first time last February, I felt almost immediately like it was marvelous because the vision of Daji is this place is a paradise. Really, is rebuilding a paradise. So how we could find this connection back to our own nature and with nature itself. For me, it was very inspiring. And this is also why I decided to leave France and Europe, because I think we are losing our heart connection. We are thinking too much in Europe. And here, the heart of you and the Indian people, this is like, wow, you're always welcoming everyone with hands open. So we need that in Europe. And about this campus, I would love to contribute in a way to bring maybe this concept or this kind of space. I don't want to name it. I don't know the form that will take, but I really want to build something there and to act to help people, because people in Europe need this. They need to find their balance within and within also with the outside. And they need to practice yoga, meditation to be balanced on the physical level, emotional level, and the mental level. So we need some place like this in Europe.
Wow. And we hope you are successful in establishing something like this. It would be wonderful. And many more such centers come up, because everything good must be shared across the world, across humanity. So I wanted to ask you, since you're a yoga teacher, mm-hmm. and you have people coming to your classes, what is your idea? What are the problems that the modern lifestyle is giving people? What is lacking in our life that we need yoga interventions for?
Actually, most of the people, they are coming with a background, or they are sitting on the desk at the office all the time.
A computer,
computer device. So this is about the neck pain, shoulder pain, and the hips and all the legs. So at almost every time, we are starting from the basics, from the feet. We're starting from the feet and we are moving up. So we work first on the legs to make sure we can support all the work we are going to do. So every time this is like this, but everything also is linked. I mean, this is on the physical part, but on energetical part, there is a link between the ankle and the wrists and the shoulder and the hips. So maybe you will feel some problem around the shoulder, but this is related to the hip. So we need to work in a global way on the mm-hmm. physical level to make sure the energy could flow And then everything starts to be balanced. And this is what is lovely with meditation. This is you're taking the time to look within and to experiment yourself within. So then, with this practice and meditation, you can see how you are evolving during the practice. And we start like this, but actually this is specific for everyone because we are all unique. We are coming from the same source, but we are all unique. So.
Yeah, so each case you have to treat with its own it comes with its own differences. So you can't have one sort of yoga for everybody.
Definitely not. And also, some people, they are, let's say, quite disturbing with all the devices, all the information that's surrounding us. This is also why meditation is important, to calm down and to try to speak from the heart and not from the mind, who is disturbing by all the advertisement and so on. So when this is for a group class, I'm trying to give variations as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But when this is individual class, so this is like, we could do anything. We just start from, okay, what do you need? What do you want to do? And then I'm also observing. So this is like an exchange all the time. I'm not just teaching those random asanas or pranayamas. This is very specific, person to person.
Oh, very interesting. You mentioned that a lot of people come to you with problems in the neck and the back because of sitting on a computer for long hours. Also, a lot of mental problems. People have a lot of, they're not in a good mental space. There's stress. People are feeling stressed out at work. Does yoga help with that as well?
Yes, definitely. And what is beautiful actually in this yoga practice, so Patanjali is saying in the Yoga Sutras that first we need to be ready to welcome the teacher, but also we need to start with the asana. Not directly, but to start with the asana, pranayama, etc. And then at the end, this is meditation. No, with the Sajmarg and Heartfulness, we start from dharana, dhyana, which is meditation, to reach the samadhi, to feel this connection within, with the heart, with God. And I will say what I was experiencing on my own, this is a mix of the both ways.
Mm-hmm.
This is like now with Heartfulness Yoga Academy. So we are practicing asana, pranayama, and meditation. But at home, I was introducing some music. And sometimes the movements are more dynamic. Sometimes they are more slow. I'm also giving them the time to look within. So I'm doing a mix, let's say, of those two approaches during the yoga practices. And this is really helping people to calm down their mind. And if at least two of their senses are focused on the breath, and they're really working on the breath and slowly with their own limitation, first they can't hurt themselves. And then they are not able to think that much. They can't think about, did I pay the parking? I need to do shopping or whatever. They can be very there on the mat to practice for themselves. And then time to times with the practice, they are thinking less and less and less. And I don't know if I could be an example of it, but at some point I needed more calmness, restlessness. So I was looking for something else, and it was meditation. And I discovered Heartfulness.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And what about back home? You mentioned that when you started, it was like your father was worried that you were joining a sect. And when you started yoga, are those attitudes now changing? Are more people opening up to yoga and meditation back home as well?
This is a very good question. And I started, let's say, a little bit more than 5 years ago. So 5 years is like not nothing, but that's when time flies. So this is very fast also. So I don't think that the mentality were changing that much since 5 years. And also, I was pushing that much myself. I wanted to let's say I was thinking I was losing time since I was 25. So I wanted to catch up the time. This is the word I was looking for, to catch up the time. So I was very dedicated of the practice. So that went maybe very fast for me, in a sense that I was not that aware of what people are saying around me and stuff like this. I wanted to be very dedicated, to be consistent as much as I could. So I would say maybe mentality didn't change that much since 5 years ago. But I feel more and more people will come back from India maybe to Europe.
Yeah.
More and more mentality will change. And I started to do yoga with the kids at home before I left.
Oh, nice.
For 1 year, I was doing yoga with the kids, 2 or 3 years old. So through some exercise, we were playing around yoga. We're doing asana with animals. It was very lovely. And I think they will build the future. So we have to make sure they could experiment what is yoga, to look at their emotions, but also we should address the people at our age to make sure, okay, that also education, this is also the part of their job, to let them grow and let them build this new world. So we need to address both. So we'll see back home.
Yeah, interesting. Also, with anything that is, pure like yoga, a time comes when it becomes like, when people realize that there is money in it, it becomes like a business, it becomes like a huge corporate business sort of thing. And it has happened to yoga, certainly in America. I was talking to a yoga trainer there, Eddie Stern, who was talking about how it's become so corporatized and so, driven by profit and things like that. How does one avoid that? How do you suggest one can tackle that?
Wow. I don't know how to start, to be honest. As I'm traveling now, I was like, okay, I don't have the opportunity to earn that much money. So I was like, let's start to do yoga online. I was starting to post a little bit on Instagram. And I realized that on Instagram, actually the posts who are working well, this is the post that I'm doing asana. And at the beginning, it was like, I was not wearing that much the shirt, So now I would like to wear the shirt, and I would like to people listen to what I have to say or share about what is meditation, how the asana pranayama could lead you towards meditation, or that can help you in a global way on your daily basics. But on those kind of media, this is not that easy to find the right audience. And also for the large part of the audience, they are attracting to something that is like, okay, that is attracting my eyes, or this like looks nice, we'll do arm balancing, we'll do crazy posture. But at the end, yoga is just to close our eyes and to experiment. But to reach this, we need to work on different layers first. So this is very difficult to address that. I don't want to be part of this, let's say, trend that I could do some retreat for arm balancing, to promote myself like this or like this. I'm trying to avoid that and to attract the people who will vibe with me. And maybe, I don't know, we'll see how that will work. I think organically I will find my audience, but I don't want to play this, what the system is putting in place.
Sure.
So this is very difficult.
Yeah, it's a fine line, because it's such a big industry also in a way.
Yeah.
There's such a huge economy to it, and sight being and our senses of, I think we are most reliant on sight. So a lot of people, the first attraction is just that sight thing. Interesting. Also, I wanted to ask you, there is, like you had that calling when you were doing the job. You had felt something missing and you wanted to explore, and that's how you got into yoga. A lot of people, when they feel that, they they go to substances. They go to, there's alcohol and there's drugs and stuff like that. How did you avoid getting into that? Or did you avoid getting?
Actually, I went through this.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I went through this since...
A lot of us go through it and come out of it, but a lot of us just then stay in it.
Maybe to be honest, I don't know if this is 16, 17 or 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left home. So maybe more from 18 to 25. And then I was like, no, stop. Because my body is telling me, okay, you have to work.
Yeah.
And
what was your substance of choice?
I was smoking and drinking alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did both.
Mm-hmm.
And actually it was putting me like down into
But you
depression.
never did any of the mind-altering psychedelics, like none of the LSD or...
No. But the experience I went through actually in Estonia.
Mm.
So I went to Estonia to visit a friend, and it was very nice. So the friend left home, and the friend told me, okay, now someone will massage you, because I did this massage. It was super nice. You deserve it. So I'm leaving home. I let you with the person who is coming, and then you will receive massage. And I didn't know about it, but I was trusting that much my friend that I was like, okay, the guy is coming, let's do the massage. And he was massaging me the back, the legs, and in between we had a short stop, and he was asking me if I wanted to take the rapé. I don't know if you know what it is.
No, what is it?
This is like tobacco, and the shamans of South America, they are using it. So this kind of like a kind of pipe.
Okay,
and you blow the tobacco through the pipe directly to the nostril.
Wow. What is it called again?
Rapé.
Rapé,
yeah. I can show you the picture later on of how they are doing it.
Wow.
And I was not aware of what it was. And we were talking, he was feeling me through the massage, the first part of the massage. So he was giving me this thing. I was like, oh, I trust my friend, and I trust the guy. I feel good. So let's do this. So I did it, and I felt what I was sharing with you with the first sitting with Heartfulness. I felt this first feeling of elevation with this thing.
Wow.
So when I went through my meditation journey, and after the first sitting, I had this experience. I was like, I don't need anything.
You don't need the substance,
Yes. So at least we need to work a lot on the ego to make sure, okay, when you start to, not to play, but to feel you can manage the energy within you, you have to work a lot on the ego. This is why meditation is very important, to make sure you're not going to a wrong path. And then I was like, I don't need those substances anymore. If I would like to be awake in the morning, first, as we were talking just before the talk, I'm trying to turn off my phone 2 hours before to go to bed, to do not to eat just before. And then I'm trying to put this routine in place, to do yoga in the morning, to do pranayama, to wake up my whole being, and then I feel ready for the day. I don't need to drink a coffee, because coffee is, I love chai in India. I'm drinking too much chai, but I'm trying to regulate that, and even that, this is not good to have it every day.
No espresso? There's no espresso in the morning?
No, nothing.
Really?
We need to balance that. This is not, we should avoid.
Are you sure they'll
completely
let you back into France?
In Italy, for sure, they will say, no, you can't enter to the country.
Because, you must have been accustomed to having an espresso every morning.
Yeah.
And it's quite a change. They say it's one of the most addictive substances, caffeine, in the world.
Yeah.
Followed by nicotine.
Yeah.
It's not heroin or all of the cocaine or anything. It's actually caffeine and nicotine are the two most addictive substances.
Small things like this, that could be small, but also with alcohol and the devices. So devices is the drug for the brain.
Yeah, sure, because it's releasing that.
That's cut down all the synapse connection. So when the child got a tablet in the hand, they should not watch tablets or phones very early age. So
but now it's like standard thing that you give the child a tablet and then they're feeding the children that way.
But I'm not saying this is not good. So, I mean, coffee, for example, you have lots of benefits from the coffee, but once a week, this is enough.
Once a week?
Once a week, yeah.
I thought you'd at least say once a day.
No. But you can, but I mean, for the physical
we won't release this part.
This is like, that's okay.
Poor caffeine drinkers. They'll feel bad about themselves. No, but a lot of people find these drugs, like you were talking about rapine, you said, right?
Rapine. I don't know how to say correctly in English.
But there's also this ayahuasca that people do, in Brazil with shamans and things like that. And people have spiritual experiences doing it. They recommend doing that. You never felt like doing it again?
I never wanted to do it. And also when I started to consume alcohol when I was smoking, it was because I think at the beginning, I wanted to know more myself through others. So I was very open to others. I wanted to build connections with people around me, and they were consuming those things.
Okay, so socially.
So socially, I was studying like this, and then it was like permanently, I needed to stop. And also that went out like this with the rapé. I was not going there to try out this experience. The guy came to me, literally. So I never looked for it, and that came to me. So no, I'm not looking for it.
But it's amazing how much the body and mind are connected, actually, because I found it, it's still amazing how just doing a simple exercise or a pranayama in the morning can change the way you are feeling about your day, because you're approaching a day with that sense of dread and suddenly you do your yoga or something. It's pretty crazy how much your body can affect your mind.
And that could be, you can see the results and the effects after a few practice, but also, and Daji is saying that a nice way, so doesn't matter if you know everything when you will start the journey. You just have to know 5% of it, and then you will see the rest on the way. And the most important is the attitude. How is your attitude when you're doing it? Is you're doing it from your heart or not? So when I come back to my yoga practice, this famous yoga practice leads me towards yoga. So I was surrendering completely. And I was just focusing on my breath, and I almost couldn't walk when I was going into the yoga center. Almost couldn't walk into it.
Wow.
I was like so exhausted after 3 days without sleeping. And I was like a newborn when I went out. So that could also work after one practice. That depends on how you are engaging yourself into it. Are you willing to change or not? It's also, that should come from within. And it was like this for me. And then now to come back to you also to your question, I'm not looking for any substances like this, but in Europe and Switzerland, they are doing nice, let's say, experimentation that they are helping people through those medicines. Because they are medicines that come from nature, like micro dosing to help people who got mental issue or they are going through lots of up and down depressions. So that could help people out to see what is behind the depression, how they can come back to the source of it, to the root of it, to see, okay, this is the root of my depression, or I can change from within. So I think this is interesting in that point of view, but I'm not looking for it. I'm okay.
And it's amazing that a lot of the substances actually that nature has, there's also are created within the human body by and it's fascinating actually. Now the studies that are going on, it's really very interesting. How do you think about the outlook of the world? Because how does that affect you? Because sometimes we read the news in the morning and we get depressed or we get angry or does that affect your state of mind? And do you let it affect your state of mind?
Actually, when COVID started, I felt so bad after 1 or 2 days. So I turned off the TV. And since the beginning of COVID, I didn't turn on the TV again.
Wow.
And the same for the news.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, I was quite blind for a few months.
Yeah.
But in a way that I'm staying connected to my friends, our families, and so on. So I managed to stay connected to the world. So the information is going to me.
But you're not seeking out the information.
No, I'm not looking for the information.
And do you find that has helped your state of mind?
Yes. And even at the beginning of the journey, so I started to work more on myself, because you should work first on yourself. And I love this approach of one French artist. He's saying something like, if you don't work enough on yourself first, you would just see yourself in the eyes of the person in the eyes of the person in front of you. This is just a mirror. So first we need to work on ourselves. And at the beginning, I was still with the same group of people, etc. So I was like still in touch with the same news, let's say. And more I was I was moving on my journey. I was like, okay. Also, I was starting to build new connections, new friends, new people around me. I still have the same connection, but now this is different connections. We are approaching each other differently. So now this is not that much affecting me. But we need to stay balanced also with this spiritual world and the materialistic world. So this is a way all the energy is going from out to in and in to out, and also how to balance those two parts. So for now, I'm not that, let's say, I'm not looking for the information, but they are coming to me, and now this is okay. I don't feel that disconnected to the world.
Yeah, because it's interesting, because online you find people who, follow stuff online and are getting agitated about it, or getting depressed about it, and it's so related. And you just have to go through the comments on a YouTube video, and you see that people are so angry. There's so much going on, So it's so much in our mind that and that's bound to have an effect on our body also. And the growth of diseases, I don't know. It's the diseases, hospitalizations are so much more common now.
Yes.
Where it should be the other way around, because we should be actually progressing, and there should be less need of healthcare. But there is more and more need of healthcare now.
And actually, I would say, with all the things we are going through into life, I can see that we are learning tools. So to take my example, I went for a master degree in entrepreneurship and project management. So now I'm using those tools for my yoga activity. And then I'm using also Instagram as a tool to find new content and to help me to get more valuable information about yoga. And there are lots of good information on Instagram or even TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, for example. But if we are taking this example, in China, TikTok, this is really to push good information to the local people. And in Europe or in United States, TikTok, this is like brainwashing or something like this,
Yeah.
And also, if you are looking for the medical part, I understood that, I hope I'm right. So in China, you are going 2 or 3 times to the doctor per year, and you are paying the doctor for it. So that means the doctor is receiving money from you if you are well. If you are not well, you are in disease or you're sick, the doctor is coming to your place. You are not going to his place. He's coming to your place, and you don't have to pay him because he didn't do his job properly. His job is to make sure you are healthy.
Yeah.
So the approach is totally different. And in Europe, we are not seeing that in that way. And all the scientific approach about yoga, we are like not that close to find 1% of what yoga could do for us. But this is the most powerful technology on planet, because we have everything in. And looking forward to see the next chapter of it.
Wow. Yeah, which brings me to my next question. You're teaching yoga, but how much do you think you have to learn yourself still?
I'm still learning every day. Even during my teaching, I can realize that I'm learning something. So this is a never-ending journey for me.
Wow. Thank you so much, Paul. It's been so nice having a chat with you. And we wish you all the best. And hopefully the journey continues.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of KanhaCast. Do subscribe to KanhaCast on YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify. Until the next episode, from the entire KanhaCast team, namaste and goodbye.